Hello there and welcome. Today we're taking a full look at the Unlocx V2 pistol. Now I am very excited to crack this thing open and check it out, but first I do want to say that Unlocx did reach out and send me this blaster free of charge. So big thanks to Unlocx. I really appreciate the opportunity to take a look at this thing. With that being said, I will be reviewing this just like I would review any other blaster, and my thoughts are my own. The box looks pretty good. It features a 700 round magazine and claims 11 shots a second. So what's included in the box? First up, we have this target. It looks pretty cool. We have the instructions. We have 5 packs of 700 rounds. Now keep in mind that the magazine holds 700 rounds, so each of these is worth 1 magazine. We have eye protection, which is definitely a necessity, the charging cord, an Allen wrench, and we'll talk about why this is included later. Then we of course have the V2 itself. The magazine comes installed as well as the battery. Now with the Unlocx V2 pistol out of the box, let's go over the blaster. First off, it is definitely worth noting that this blaster has an insanely high plastic quality. This plastic quality feels like Dart Zone Pro plastic. It is amazing. There is no flexing. It is super solid. On the back of the blaster, we have this cap. It can be very easily released. If you had any Unlocx attachments, basically you could stick a stock in place of this. Obviously, this is not an N-Strike barrel attachment point. It doesn't really look like a barrel attachment point, but you will be able to put the other Unlocx barrels onto this blaster. On the right side only, we have the magazine release. It can be pushed down and the magazine comes out very easily. The included magazine holds 700 rounds and loading it is pretty simple. If you look at the top of the magazine, there's this door right there. You essentially just pull it back and it opens up. It'll probably be easiest to load with a funnel. On the left side of the blaster only, we have our on-off switch or safety. In the upper position, your blaster is off, and the lower position, you're ready to go. Also exclusive to the left-hand side is the charging port. This little rubber flap can be lifted up, and it does come with a USB-style charging cord. However, you will need to supply your own wall charger. The green light will blink while this thing is charging and will glow steady when it's fully charged. Now, I mentioned earlier how this blaster came with a Allen wrench. First off, if you have Unlocx attachments, you can use this to secure them onto the blaster. Now, the second reason, which I find incredibly cool, is that there are 2 screws on the top of the blaster. If you undo both these screws, this entire upper panel, you can take this off. Doing that will reveal the battery. Not only could you swap to a fresh battery pretty easily, but you can also buy different batteries for this blaster. The fact that Unlocx gave us this really cool feature and offers different batteries is really cool. Obviously, we're not going to fire this thing inside, but let's take the V2 out and get some chronograph data. Here we are outside with the V2. I really like the colors on this thing. Let's grab some numbers. 205, 199, 194, 205, 191, 187, 198. We're hitting right around 200, which is really awesome considering the size of this blaster. So I really wanted to set this target up and take some shots at it, but the wind is not cooperating with me, so I'm going to fire at my usual target, which is definitely going to be good enough for today. It definitely left some marks, and that grouping was really good. These 200 FPS shots definitely have very competent ranges. So what are my final thoughts on the Unlocx V2 pistol? Overall, I think this thing is a really fun blaster. The plastic quality is absolutely superb. The rate of fire and FPS are definitely awesome. And considering the stats of this thing, a 700 round magazine, 11 rounds a second, 200 FPS, it is a ridiculously compact blaster. But if you want to change up the aesthetics, Unlocx does offer different configurations of this blaster. I also think that the battery system is awesome. I love the fact that you can very simply just plug in a cord and charge it, but if you need to replace the battery or upgrade the battery or swap it in a game, you can easily do that by taking out these 2 screws. Incredibly cool and very competent. So if you're looking for a very solid, full auto gel blaster, consider checking out the Unlocx V2. If you are interested, I'll have a link to the Unlocx website in my description. Again, big thanks to Unlocx for sending this over. For everyone else, thank you very much for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts on the Unlocx V2, and happy blasting.